State Liquor Control Board the other day, in a closed meeting, by the way, which is in violation of the Open Meetings Law, adopted a set of rules. And every one of those rules was because of things that you and I and the public press media have brought to the attention of the public. I'm going to continue to bring these things to the attention of the public because the public has a right to know.
What about this meeting the other day in which they drew up the new rules? Is there definitely a violation of the open meeting law involved?
In my opinion, there is. The law says that every meeting of every state agency must be open to the public unless they are specifically considering dismissal of personnel or things of that nature.
The first threat in the investigation into the Neighborhood Improvement Program was made today to one of the participants in the investigation, being made by Channel 8. Channel 8 reporters, Fred Hatton and myself, called in District Attorney Frank Coffey to listen to the story. This was the story told by the woman who, on the telephone, received a threat against the lives of her children.
This was a call I got this morning, and I cut it off. I discussed it with myself because I couldn't recognize the voice, and then I had the children at home. I was getting them off to school, so I thought, well, if I hang up now, maybe they'll call back when I can concentrate better. But I did not receive another call.
Have you been worried about their safety since?
Yes, definitely.
That's the threat uncovered today in the investigation into the Neighborhood Improvement Program here in Fort Worth. Bob Gooding for Channel 8 News.
I think teenagers, particularly young teenagers, are dealing with many strong feelings of their own. They feel in conflict with their parents and with society and what they stand for, and feel isolated and lonely, and they have impulses to get away from their problems, to be with people that really care and love them. And there's impulses at times which they do act out and get support to go away somewhere else, to live away from home where they can get away from their tensions and feel accepted. I think many entertainment people, and there are many groups that sort of support this and make it a thing to do, and it's much more difficult for the community to deal with, for parents to set limits and hold their kids home and make them feel worthwhile there.
Do you have any advice to parents whose children run away?
Well, my general advice would be to try and find out where they are and reestablish some contact with them in some way.
Well, both as a private citizen and as a member of the state Senate, I resent anyone telling me that the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States guaranteeing freedom of speech does not apply to me. I think it applies to everyone, including members of the state Senate.
I answered the phone, the very first phone call that came in, and I was addressed by name, and I was asked whether or not I was going to give my opinion to the committee that is working on the investigation of the NIP. I again asked, would you please give me your name? And they said, we're just interested, by the way, how many children do you have? And I said, will you please state your name? And then the voice, male young voice said, well, we know you have the small children in elementary school, and of course your grown sons, and you know how accidents can happen even in the safety of your home.
I'd like to state that that my office is, of course, interested in the safety of all of its citizens here, and we will be more than happy to look into this threat and see what we can see what we can come up with.
That's fine.
You might almost say that Dallas School Board members are holding their breath and crossing their fingers. Dr. Nolan Estes, the 37-year-old educator they've asked to take the post of superintendent of Dallas schools, comes Friday to make his final decision. But some board members are afraid that information leaked about the choice of Dr. Estes may have given the public and Estes, as well as the other candidates, a ruction. Willard Gregg says that he is dismayed, astounded, and half sick over some of the things that have been said and printed. What most of the school trustees insist is that even though the vote in favor of asking Dr. Estes was only 5-4, the man who takes the job will get the wholehearted support of the entire board. Dr. Emmett Conrad said that the last 6 men picked by the consultants were all excellent men, and that the selecting votes were for candidates, not against any one of them. As for the selection between the last 2 candidates, Mrs. Henry Bromberg asserts most positively that the district would be served well by either man. Looking forward to Friday with optimism, Trustee Jerry Weed says that he is sure that the board's unity will convey itself to Dr. Estes. Confidence and what Dr. Marvin Berkeley calls quiet calm seem to be what the board members are looking for from each other and from the community. Teal Salon reporting.